Welcome back to Day One Energy, episode 7. We have Nathan Cooney on with us today. Thank you so much for coming on. For those who are watching us, you have to excuse us. It is a Friday afternoon. We are having a sneaky little drink while we're filming today. Lockie's
Water?
not. He's on the waters.
Okay, guys.
Lockie's on the waters. So to introduce Nathan, Nathan owns Luxurious Lawns. He started it 3 years ago.
Yep.
So I suppose what made you want to start a business?
I guess simply to have something of my own name. I feel like the quality of the work I do doesn't go unnoticed. So, that's definitely a main factor on why I started my own.
Yeah. So you wanted to really just provide like the level of service that you really wanted to, and that quality of work. So
and be known for it as well. Like given the name Luxurious Lawns.
Yeah. Love it. So you were obviously in the industry before you started. So did you start like part-time?
Well, I guess back, being brought up in the country, being outdoors frequently, things like that definitely led me into, say, the industry. And then, got into landscaping there for a bit, hardscaping, softscaping, maintenance, things like that. And working underneath people were really good. Even did a apprenticeship in sport turf management, so as a greenkeeper.
Wow.
So that was in the COVID period. So just pulled up short of that 3-year mark to complete the trade. But in saying that, piece of paper and all that. I did get a lot out of that, like 2 and a bit years. And very grateful to have done that, because I guess it's led me into where I am today with that extensive knowledge of, I guess, being a bit of, not to be, but a cut above the rest. Doing your studies and things like that. It really gives you that leg up and be able to provide, I guess, a more
top
quality, top tier service.
Okay. So that's a bit of a different perspective from, well, I suppose for us, different to how we started. Neither of us studied, neither of us went to uni. Like we didn't do, I mean, you did a little bit of TAFE, but...
Yeah, I just TAFE and diplomas, but in terms of us being like having diploma degrees, we were like, we're just going straight into it. So it is good to hear another perspective. Once to go, you can learn and it can add to your...
Yeah, definitely.
And it will,
Yeah, I mean, I guess as you guys realise now, when you're in the mix of it all, it's hard. Well, each their own, but it is harder to educate yourself on the go, as if you were to kind of get that education and then bring it to the table straight off the bat.
Yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of time, you're very time poor when you're doing your business, and that's what you need to learn is time. And I guess at the end of the day, I was fortunate to be backed with knowledge and knowing what to do and how to do it properly, and like I said, provide the high end service.
And so that was all when you came up and when you started the business. Where are you now? So what does Luxurious Lawns do, and how has your business almost become what it is today? What's the journey?
So I guess growing organically, like over time, like growing in a way where I wasn't just thrown in the deep end straight away. I brought essentially metaphor like the dock and the boat. I brought the boat towards the dock and then jumped onto the boat without tripping.
No swimming involved.
Swimming involved. So I mean, so working underneath someone whilst growing a business on the side, hustling after work, etc. Definitely made me more comfortable and to move into, I guess, the business side of things, because honestly, it is a scary thing to go out on your own.
Dude.
As you guys know.
I think every guest has said that when it was scary.
Yeah.
There was nothing easy about going yes.
No.
But once you say yes, it's like, yeah, okay, there's no going back.
There's no going back.
There's not.
No going back. Yeah.
They say the more you like working for yourself, it's harder to go back to working with others, like underneath people. So yeah.
Yeah. So what does Luxurious Lawns do? So you cover like everything. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Maintenance primarily, because that's what I pride myself on, the quality and upkeep. We're saying that I do project work here and there, doing, say, houses up for sale, or, you know, overgrown, people haven't been able to get to it, health issues, etc. Mulching, turf laying, once again, small man show, so nothing extreme. But I've got the knowledge to go big. However, it's a taming situation where I don't want to get I don't want to bite off more than I can chew.
Yeah, that's a big thing. You don't want to dive too deep into.
I think there's definitely. I think we've both done the same thing before, where we've definitely bit way more than we can chew, and you just like you burn out, and you learn that.
And it takes a while. I'm dealing with it right now. I took on too much work, and I've had to deal with the 2 months period of me going, oh no, like now I've got to deal with the back end side of it all, and then still try to grow. It's just
well, that's right, and I've got to be very careful in the sense that I've got to time manage myself. So family time is definitely a priority. So with the work life balance, that's one thing definitely I've learned, is when booking in work and jobs is to be mindful that I'm not working weekends, not doing like massive days. You know, here and there, exceptions have to be made, but on a big scale, I guess, that to be the backbone of around my business, to not let it creep into other aspects of life, I guess.
Well, let's I suppose dive into that a little bit more, because I know there's a few people on here. There's a few people who have been on the podcast too, who've got families as well, and they've said like it's when you start a business, you pretty much can't balance it.
Well, you know.
So when you started, like you said, you were working for someone else. You know, working part-time in your business, trying to grow it up. You know, you were working after work. How was that to balance your family? Obviously, halfway through, you had Isella, your daughter. So that's a lot to juggle.
That's correct. So essentially, when Isella was born, I was still working underneath someone. So I had that flexibility you have when, I guess, you are working under someone else. You can take some time off and prioritize your family, because I guess now in the situation I'm now, it's full time. You can't just say, hey boss, I've got to put in a couple of weeks here, there. It's like, you know, you client.
I am the boss.
Yeah. So, but in saying that, clientele, very understanding. Obviously, everyone's got a life or family member that they've got to care for from time to time. So, I
think that's the good thing about working for yourself, is you just like, if you need to take time, you can take time. You don't need to ask your boss.
Definitely. Easier said than done.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Nah, cool. So when did you make the decision just to go,
well,
fuck it, I'm going full time?
Well,
was there a transition period where you started to pick up more of your own stuff, and you realised, I'm getting a lot of inquiry, I'm getting a lot of interest. Do I just do it? What was the pivot?
Well, the pivot really was, like, Isella was born, and then I had the first 8 weeks off work for pretty much her life. When I say off work, I still ran my side of the business, but the company that I was working for at the time, I was able, you know, my partner had a broken leg at the time, so having a newborn, having partner with a broken leg.
Not ideal.
Not ideal. New parents to be.
Yeah.
It was pretty full on, living in a 3-story house. I had great support from the in-laws, but at the same time, like many people out there know, under your own roof type of thing, it's you and your partner, and you got to be a good team at the end of the day. So that transition, basically, after that 8 weeks, I was like, right, returning back to work for this other company, and then I was thinking to myself, okay, I've got a decision to make here. I've got a family now. Like you said, jobs were coming in. I'm like, I got to choose between one of the two. It's like no good me working part-time because at the end of the day, you want to put 100% into your business. And if you are working 100%. For someone else, it's hard to do that. Yeah. So just made sense. And I had a lot of people backing me and say, you can do it. And I believed I could do it. But there is that self-doubt initially because there's just so many new...
Yeah, I think it's more like you get into your head and you're like, well, shit, what happens if I don't?
Yeah. You lose the security of a job.
Yeah.
If you rock up to work, you'll get paid.
Yeah.
This way, when you're starting your own thing, you might be sitting at the computer trying to get some sales, locking clients. You're like, am I actually getting paid for this right now? Am I working for this for nothing? But until you get out there on the tools and you start working and it becomes consistent, that's the pivot.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's dead on. So... I guess, thinking about it, it just was clear as day to jump into that. So,
and what was your partner's reaction to that? And did she give full blessing to go? Do it?
Very supportive. So she grew up with her parents having their own business as well. So she understood, you got to do what you got to do from time to time. Obviously, in the period pre-family. There was late afternoons and stuff, but now being conscious of being home and spending quality family time, that's been, like I said earlier, a real backbone of what I'm trying to build, hence why I don't want to grow to the point where my mind's constantly ticking at home and I can't be present, because that is a big thing, I guess. With many business owners out there, it's you also bring the work back home with you as well, and you can't be present. And it does take effect, definitely.
So do you? I think we're going to ask the same question. Yeah. Do you have aspirations to grow a team or grow a little team, or where do you see Luxurious Lawns going in the future?
Yeah, look, honestly, under my own belt, for the next, say, 4 to 5 years. I mean, it would be nice to get help time to time, like a casual or something, but no real vision at the moment to go franchise. Once again, I pride myself on my quality of work, so to keep that in check.
Be able to control that, quality control.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
If anything is a problem, it's my fault and I'll fix it type of thing. So whereas obviously staff and that you've got to manage in a way, which is fine. I've got no problem with doing that, but priority at the moment is, I guess, being more present at home. The business building side of things will come later, but now I've got an established business, still very premature, but very promising.
You're pushing for balance.
Yeah.
I really like that, and I think that's a real point of difference you have, is you're really going, these things can both happen at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, that was actually our original plan for the podcast. It wasn't going to be Day One Energy. I can't actually even remember what the name was, but the whole point around it was finding out how people balance business with family life.
Personal life,
because it's come up for all of us before. I mean, I don't have any balance.
I
mean, and you could argue us doing this podcast right now isn't very balanced because it is 5:30 on a Friday night. But
exceptions.
Exceptions.
But I'm super interested to hear that.
like honestly, it is a non-negotiable for me. Like I prefer to be home than to be making money, or like, you know,
We're family orientated.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's how I'll be forever, because growing up, that's something that's been instilled with me. You know, family time is a special time to have, and yeah, I don't think it will ever get to the point where work overweighs the time after work, just simply because you catch it before it's too late. Like if you know that you're overscheduled or stuff, then you go, right, reassess what's going on. Like, do I need to potentially let go of work, or can I schedule this in better? So closer jobs, you know, surrounding suburbs, you do them on the day instead of travel time, things like that. So yeah,
That's another bonus too, being able to schedule what you want.
yeah, definitely.
Schedule what you want. Cool. So I suppose with the balance of family, you've got another one on the way.
Yeah.
What's
Hard launch, by the way.
Yeah.
Hard launch.
No one knows this yet.
Spoiler alert. No one.
Congratulations, by the way. That's
thank you.
so super exciting.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you had the,
No, I'm not ready to talk, Jordan.
yeah. You had the luxury of, you know, being able to take time from your other job, and you weren't full time into Luxurious Lawns yet when Isella was born. So have you got a plan in place for what happens
Wow.
when the new one comes?
That is an
or-
action-packed question.
Yeah.
I like it.
You dropped the bomb on me there. Yeah, look. All honesty, as much time I can get off, I will. In saying that, my schedule varies from weekly visits to fortnightly to 3 weekly to monthly. So it will be a busy time of the year, March, so it's summer. But once again, there's having that extensive knowledge of the industry. There is growth regulators that I can put out on properties to slow the growth down. If I am to take, say, 2 to 4 weeks off, I'm not going to come back and everything's a jungle.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I've got some time to think. So yeah, that would definitely, well, I can tell you right now, it is consuming a lot of my thinking power at the moment, just to work that out. Because you're right, that is something that's going to be new to me, and it's going to be something hard to juggle. Like, you know, even having kids, man, is the juggling act, and doing business and being a partner, being a father, and taking care of yourself. You know,
Full-time job all on itself.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to deter anyone, but you know, it's not there.
Yeah. And
We
like
wish you the best with that. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
you're in a seasonal driven business.
Yeah.
Where in the warmer seasons you'd be full on.
Yeah.
Like people need their grass mowed once a week.
Yeah, look.
How do you like transition from like going from getting smashed in summer to in winter it's not as, you know?
Yeah, good question. I guess the days are a lot longer, but in saying that, you can't really start noise to 7. But, you know, there's ways around it. Like I said, first of all my, say 90% of my equipment's battery operated, so I can operate on an earlier schedule than most. And even if it's just doing stuff without noise required, you can still be present on site doing things. And yeah, the change of seasons hits you hard because you get belted with the sun, the humidity. You know what Brizzy's like in summer. It's not a nice place to be outside. But in saying that, it's not an industry for people that, you know, you got to suck it up and roll with it type of thing.
Well, I suppose being a country kid too, you're brought up in the sun.
Yeah, 100%. And I love it. I love being out in the sun, breaking a sweat. That's just, I guess, you know, people love going to the gym, pumping iron, things like that. It's, yeah, I really enjoy what I do, and that makes it easy to do.
Yeah.
The workload balance between, you know, seasons, I guess I'm not sure what summer's what I'm in store for in summer this season, as it's like going to be my first full-time summer.
Okay. Well, diving back to the other summers.
Yeah.
So if you've 3 years now, so you've done three season cycles.
Yeah.
In summer, have you ever, and given that's your busiest time, has there been time in the past where you have bitten off more than you could chew, and you've been like super overwhelmed?
Yeah.
And what happened during that period of time, and how you're not going to make sure it happens again? That's another action-packed one.
No, that's okay. Well, I guess pre-summer, you know, Isella was born, so I had a lot of that time, like I said, 8 weeks off.
Yep.
So I was lucky that the business wasn't at the scale it is now, because it was a lot easier to deal with back then. But previously, like previous employment and things like that, when I was building it up on the side, it was long days, man. It was working from 6 to 6, and that was like
That's full on.
and it really was being in the elements for 12 hours. And I guess you really do have to look after yourself as far as like hydration and things, because it's so easy just to burn out and things like that, like literally burn out in the heat. So yeah, you just got to be really mindful of things like that and do the right things. Because you can quite easily set yourself up for failure, like if those things aren't in place.
I'm really curious. So for me, with real estate, I mean, where I get my clients is door knocking, calling, letterbox dropping, building relationships with people. It's just one big prospect. How did you build up your business, and like how did clients come in? Was it word of mouth, or like did you specifically go out and chase work, or?
I've done a mixture. Letterbox dropping. Word of mouth is a really big one, because I guess, if there's something good out there, everyone talks about it. No matter what it is, if it's the new iPhone or the new car model or something like that, new beverage, everyone talks about it. So word of mouth is a big one for me personally in the industry. Advertising too, that's a good avenue to take down. So
what sort of advertising do you do?
Facebook ads, there's high pages, things like that.
And I imagine now that your business is where it is, you don't do too much advertising anymore.
No.
You do a lot of TikTok.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that.
Look, it is hard to do media side of things, so.
Because those videos on Facebook go viral, man, like of transformations. Have you had any crazy viral ones?
Dude, I love sitting there. Like, you just sit there and watch this dude mow this lawn. It's like so satisfying. My mum even, like, she'll send me one. She'll be like, this is the best like lawn mowing video I've ever watched.
Have you had some pretty viral ones?
Well, there might be one coming up. I'm doing like a big yard tidy up. It hasn't been done for like 3 years, and I'm just going to do like a time lapse. For the client, and see how that turns out. That might go, but as far as like my social media side of things it's been very quiet, honestly. I don't post too much. Like I know I probably should.
Sorry, I'm laughing because he looked at me and we were thinking the same thing. I was like, Lockie, it's time to prospect him. Get him on your books. And he was like,
line me up. Lay up.
Lachlan Helmrich, Outcast Media Hacker.
That's right. But it is hard to wear all different hats, I must say. But there's a very small snippet online of what I'm capable of, what I'm like do. Because I'm the type of bloke that just rips in, gets it done, and then satisfied, go on to the next.
And when you're doing that, it is hard to do the social media aspect, because you're there to do a job.
Well, that's right.
You're there to get it done, provide that service, get to the next one.
Yeah, that's right. And my schedule being as it is, you know, it'd be lovely just to set up GoPro here, GoPro there, and chop away. But yeah, it is something that I'll get to in the future. Like I said, this next one, I'm hoping the time lapse I can pull off, because I've seen some fire ons out there, like you said, they're pretty crazy.
I'm excited. We'll share it on the page. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll share it on
Pressure's
all my
on.
pages. Yeah.
But Lockie, any advice, mate?
I'll speak to you off camera.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's get you signed onto a contract.
That's cool. I've
back.
actually never done work in your industry before.
Yeah,
I've done a bit of work in car detailing and
You've done some
kind of-
construction.
That's the construction, but not necessarily the landscaping side of things. So that'd be really cool to dive into, man.
Well, you know, like, great point. Every industry, you know, you don't really know what's involved unless you either like looking at it or behind the scenes type of thing. You know, I've done a lot of different industries in my younger years. You know, they're not like all what they seem to be. You know, I guess real estate agents, there's a lot more that goes into it than just like the name, like buy and sell properties and that. And like, you know, Lockie, like, you know, editing and video, like there's a lot that goes on. And involved in the process.
Geez. This dude will be filming from like 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. at different locations, like today, back to back, and now he's got like 6 hours of editing to do tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, and the prep work that goes into every industry is different.
Yeah.
So for you, it's your batteries are charged, the car's fueled, everything needs to be where it is. You know, grass clippings or whatever, everything needs to be sharp.
Making sure everything's serviced too.
That you're ready to go. So everyone's process is different. And I guess that's why we do a podcast like this, so people can learn about it.
Yeah.
So it's cool,
No, it is really good what you guys are doing. Like, as soon as I heard the first step of the intro, I'm like, all right, well, this could be good. I'm going to stay tuned, and here I am now. So,
No, that's awesome. And thanks for reaching out too. Definitely breaks it up a little bit, because as you've seen, it's a lot of
corporate.
Office, I suppose, desk jobs that we've had on, apart from Emily, who was the personal trainer. But our goal is obviously to get everyone from all different industries.
My word, because there's a lot more than meets the eye, of course. Like you guys know, when you guys have been building up your own business, you go, oh wow, this is involved in this, and even myself.
So much more than you think,
even myself. I mean, if I was to break down everything that goes into what I do, you'd go, oh really? Like,
Break it down for us.
No.
Sales, marketing, admin, accounting.
How long you got?
I don't know how long we got left of the episode.
But,
8 minutes.
But no, I guess having my partner as well, I must say, has been, you know, big help doing the admin side of things, because it is a lot. Well, at the start, now I'm all self-sufficient, but it is a lot to transition into, you know, invoicing, ringing up, organising, like scheduling, sales, chasing up, this and that. So to have a little bit of relief here and there really goes a long way. And, you know, don't give her enough credit for helping me in the earlier years when it wasn't like what it is today. I guess it really is, you know, important having good support and help around you when you're starting off, because it goes a long way.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Have you got like a favorite job you've done?
Favorite job?
Some pretty impressive before and afters.
Yeah, well, I guess, I don't know, do you guys know like cylinder mowing?
Yeah. Really low.
Yeah. So essentially when I did my trade, greenkeeping, I was mowing golf courses, bowling greens, tennis courts, things like that, like people's backyards with cylinder mowed, like a weekly mow. That was pretty satisfying, that type of work. But once again, it's a very niche part in the industry. Like, I guess you've got people that go in there and just
whip over with the mower, get out. Yeah.
Like slash and dash.
Yeah.
Where I really, take pride. It's like an art, really, for myself. Art form, just picturesque. You deal with it a lot with property. It's aesthetically pleasing, having a nice, clean, tidy yard, and you know what it looked like behind the camera as well. Like, if there's something out of place. Yeah. So attention to detail is a big part in what I do. But I love it. It's really hard to pinpoint my favorite job that I've done, but there's some great before and afters. And I guess another thing for me is the reaction I get from the client after I've done providing the service. That's a big thing for me. I find a lot of joy out of that, more than, say, the monetary side of things as well. Just to get their 2 cents of how it is and how it looks.
That keeps coming up in every episode we've done. Everyone said our biggest reward is to see the smile on our client's face. 100%. That's the same thing for me. I had a property go unconditional today, and I called them and I said, "Hey, you're sold. We can put the sold sticker up." And she was like crying on the phone. She was like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited."
Oh, that's great.
It's the reactions like that, and you're like, "Yeah, okay. This was worth the busy day that I've just had back to back. This is cool."
All the blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah. No, I just cried in my car before I called you, but you're sold. Yeah. No, cool. So do you do much cylinder mowing now, or?
No, so I personally don't own a cylinder mower because they're they're an expensive piece of equipment. In saying that, I do have a zero-turn ride-on, which is quite pricey, but it's, like I said, very niche. So everyone wants a neat. Well, when I say everyone, like all my clients want a neat yard, but do they want a cylinder mowed lawn?
Yeah. Everyone's different.
Yeah, everyone's different.
So you, with the zero turn, you'd able to do some acreage property and stuff. Do you too?
Yeah, acreage definitely on a regular basis. So my work scope varies from body corporate to residential to commercial, particularly all on a maintenance basis. Because that's just the way I like it to be. And the clients know that their property is going to be cared for in the way that they would like it to be presented when they have family guests over, nice, neat, and tidy. Ranges.
Cool. Yeah. So I don't know. Have you got one? Have you got one at the moment that's like your shortest? What's your shortest
job?
Maintenance job at the moment. What's your longest maintenance job at the moment? What's time frames?
Okay, so essentially, it's gonna sound silly, but
make sure you don't share this so your clients don't.
Yeah.
In and out in 4 minutes.
Yeah. No, 2.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah. I could go quicker, but it's I try and stretch it out.
2.5 minutes extra long in Sky.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's just like a little backyard courtyard. So.
That's crazy to me. Someone gets you in to mow their courtyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Seems like you can't believe it either.
Yeah. Look, I don't want to speak too much.
Hey, money's money. Money's money.
I'll tell you off camera. But the biggest job, look, I've got acreage properties. I've got townhouse complexes that, they get from 10 to 18 hours a week.
Yeah.
So.
And you'd obviously be doing all of the gardens for the body corporates too. So that'll be.
Yeah. That is full on because, you got eyes on you constantly. Yeah. There's a lot of people working from home these days and it's not
True.
But, feel free to watch, enjoy the show.
Is most of your work local in the Redlands?
Well, look, growing up, when I first moved to Brisbane, going back 5 years ago-ish, living in Roachdale, Wishart, So it built around those suburbs, which was fine because it's pretty central. Especially Wishart, I was there for, gosh, probably 3 years-ish. Yeah, so, building around there, and then East Coast. Essentially, I do like a 30-kilometre radius from, say, Carindale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So pretty wide, but not too.
Yeah, and because living on the East Coast now, I find that traveling in, I do jobs in, and then I do jobs out, if that makes sense. And my schedule's very structured in the way that, you know, I'm not going back to that same suburb the next day or...
Yeah, if you've got 3 in Carindale, you're doing the 3 in Carindale that day.
Yeah, well, the average day is about like 12 to 14 properties a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Unless it's a body corporate, like a townhouse complex, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. They take up a little bit of time. So,
I can imagine they would.
Yeah.
Well,
So, you go.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
I was just going to say, you're 23, you're fairly young.
Yeah.
Business owner, I mean,
Yeah, it's
fairly
surreal.
incredible.
Yeah.
Father of 2 to be.
Yeah. That's all happening.
Have you got, what's a main bit of advice that you would give to someone young? I mean, we're all young, you're 19, I'm 22, you're 23. What's a piece of advice you'd give to someone, I suppose, in our sort of age bracket when starting a business?
Yeah, good question.
It's a loaded
mate.
one.
Yeah. Look, I guess do your research, know what you're in for. That's a big thing. You know, much prep work as possible, because it really does help having stuff behind you leading in, rather than throwing yourself in and then going, oh crap, I need to learn this and that. And I guess enjoying it too. You got to enjoy the process, because at the end of the day, if you're not enjoying it, what are you doing it for?
It's your time. It's your life.
Yeah, it's your time, your life, and why do something that you're not happy doing? And that's a big motivator, I guess. You get limited time, so why use that time doing stuff that you're not happy doing?
100%.
Yeah, I mean,
love it.
If you got a dream, if you got a goal, just go for it.
Yeah.
You know, put plans in place, because that's like a smart way to go about it. That's essentially how I envisaged it all happening. Is I didn't rush. You know, I could have well gone saying, see you later, out I go. But, you know, being patient as well, not just taking on any work and things like that, it all comes into play. It really does. So
I suppose to summarise it, it's if there's something you love, if there's a dream you've got, research it as much as you can. If there's much to learn, if there's anything to learn in it, learn it.
Yeah.
And then just do it.
Find a way to monetize it.
Just do it.
Yeah, like the money comes later. If you're good at what you do and you enjoy it, that comes...
Money's a bonus.
Yeah, it really is. And of course you're going to learn things along the way, like we all do. That's part of it all, but really does help to just educate yourself with anything in life before you dive into it, to know what you're in for, half in for, especially, you know, it really does help having a network of people that have their own business and you can bounce ideas off, etc. You know, I'm in a very small circle with that, so it does become tricky, but I'm very confident in what I do, so that makes it a lot easier, I guess. But yeah, if you can bounce off ideas with business owners and just people in general, does really help. Just getting those opinions too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Awesome. I think that's a pretty good point to close out.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. That was an awesome episode. If anyone is looking
and making their lawn luxurious,
make sure you hit Nathan up. We'll tag his business in all of the posts.
Sweet.
Shout out to Luxurious Lawns. we've just put him as a contractor for all of our rentals, and I will be using him for all
There
the
you
properties
go.
I sell. So recommended from us.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thanks,
Thanks for
fellas.
coming on.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Stream Day One Energy now on all platforms.